So I wanted to give a quick demonstration of the setup for the SousVide Magic 1500D. It's a low-end consumer grade sous vide temperature controller. The only difference between this unit and a more expensive immersion circulator is that the immersion circulator has a temperature control unit. It also has a heating element, and it has a method of circulating the water inside any sort of container that you might want to use. With this device, the ideal device you want to use is actually your plain old rice cooker. Now this is a Black & Decker 38 cup commercial rice cooker that I purchased online for $50. It holds up to about 4.5 liters of water. I'm going to put some water in here, and I'll explain to you what that spoon is doing. This SousVide Magic will actually control the temperature for a rice cooker up to the largest one available in the US, which is a 12-liter rice cooker. But if you used another heating element in a different container, you could actually power up to 18 liters, or heat up to 18 liters. And then the SousVide Magic also comes in a 2000D model, which is a 2000 watt device that will heat up to, I believe, 24 liters. So more than enough than the home cook actually needs. So basically, it's a very simple device. All you do is you plug it in the wall right there. The back, if I can show you really quick, has a on-off switch on the left there, input, output, and sensor. So what you do is plug the SousVide Magic into the wall. You plug your rice cooker into the SousVide Magic. Make sure that the switch is down right there, and when you turn the power on in the back, you'll see these two panels light up. So the top one is the current temperature that the sensor is seeing. The bottom one is your target temperature. So I've attached the temperature probe, which is attached to this cable, and it goes into the water right here. I filled the water in the rice cooker up to about 3.5 liters. I've tied, using a rubber band, the probe to a spoon, just so when I'm moving the lid on and off and putting things in and out, that the probe doesn't fall out. Now, the temperature of the water right now is 119 degrees. I've preheated a little bit, but essentially you want to start with warm water, as warm as possible, so the ramp up in temperature is very quick. The danger zone for food is between 40 degrees Fahrenheit and 130 degrees Fahrenheit. And so this device will actually not operate if you start with very cold water. The default temperature is 68 degrees. If it's below 68, it will not start. But you can actually adjust that. The idea is if the probe somehow falls out of the device would shut down, because it assumes that the ambient room temperature is around 68 degrees. But again, you can adjust that, your safety margins. I'll show you very quickly how to set this up. It's super simple. On here we have a set button and then 3 navigation type buttons. You hold down the set button. The first thing right here will let you set your target temperature. This button will let you change the digit, as you can see it's moving from right to left. The accuracy is up to 1/10 of a degree. Now this is in Fahrenheit, but in the options you can change it to Celsius. Right now I'm going for 135 degrees, which is a good medium rare temperature for the piece of meat that I'm going to be cooking up, which is a 7-bone chuck blade. A very tough piece of meat, usually marinated, but we're going to do no marinade whatsoever. We're going to cook it nice and slow. Anybody can cook prime rib and make it super tasty, but let's take a super cheap cut of beef, cook it in here for about a day, and you'll come out with something equivalent of a filet mignon, but with a lot more flavor. So we set the temperature, our target temperature is 135. We hit the set button again, and I'll set the time. You generally want to keep this time at the maximum. When this timer ticks down, the machine turns off, but for food safety reasons, we always want this off, and then we'll just turn it off manually ourselves. Hit the set button again, and it goes. Now, what makes this different than, say, a crock pot or a pressure cooker or just boiling is essentially you have very precise control over the temperature of your cooking. I can set this water bath to 130 degrees or 135, 135.5, 180. Typically sous vide you're going to be cooking between 130 and 180 degrees. Now a crock pot cooks around 180 degrees, but how it works is it turns on when the temperature says 180, it shuts off, and then after a while it goes, oh, it's too cold, and it'll turn back on. So you have these huge fluctuations in temperature. Now what you got here is a very precise control where when you get close to your target temperature, the temperature will actually, the SousVide Magic will actually control the level of power going to your rice cooker and slow down that rate of temperature gain, so you're not going to have huge spikes, and the temperature ideally will sit at your target temperature right here, 135, and stay there. It won't go over that temperature and it won't go below that temperature. Now there is an auto tune mode that will actually make sure that that ideal happens, but depending on the thermodynamics capabilities of your rice cooker, you might actually have it go a little hot. It's just going to take a little bit of calibration, but as you can see, it heats pretty rapidly. I tried this earlier yesterday, and to bring it from room temperature water up to about 146 degrees took about 20 minutes, and that's heating 4.5 liters of water. If you go over here and look, you can see that the cook light is blinking. What is actually happening is the power is turning on and off and on and off, and the SousVide Magic is controlling that, and that's what's controlling the temperature gain. As you can see right now, it's 131. It's getting pretty close, and so it'll slowly get to that temperature and then stay at that target temperature, 135. Now what you do is the food you want to cook, you throw in a bag, plastic bag, and then you vacuum seal it. Now vacuum sealers are pretty expensive. You can get the vacuum chambers that cost upwards of $2,000, or you can get a food saver online, one of those little things that you see on the infomercials, and those cost about $200. Or you can get one of these. I picked it at Safeway when they first came out. It's hard to see right here, but it's a Reynolds Handy Vac, and it's a little hand-controlled vacuum sealer. I bought it for $3 when it came out. They don't make them anymore. You can find them online for about $20. Battery operated. You know, press a button, and right there it goes. It starts to suction. I use special bags. The bags are still manufactured, but under a different brand name. The only ones I've been able to find are the Debbie Mayer's. They're sold exclusively on the Home Shopping Network, hsn.com. They're actually just rebranded Reynolds Handy Vac bags, as you can see right there. These are 1 gallon bags. In bulk, they cost about 50 cents each. You can also get them in pint size or sandwich bags, and those are about 40 cents each. Hang on one sec. I'm going to get my food that I have in the freezer that we're going to do. This is the steak I was telling you about. I just purchased it. I threw it in the freezer because you want this very, very cold, outside of the danger zone. I've already done the suction, but essentially I'll show you really quick. If this were opened, you just press it right there. It has the hole. Go like that for about 20 seconds, and all the air would pop out. So what we'll do is, as you can see, it's a very, very marbled piece. I saw this and said, oh, this would be a challenge. Normally, if I were to just boil this would just taste terrible. All the flavor would go into the water if I cooked it for a day. It's a very tough piece of meat. Normally it needs marinating. As you can see, there's no marinade, no salt, no pepper. I'm just going to chuck it right in. And there we go. It fits. Now the temperature right now is 134.4, almost at our target temperature, which is just a good medium rare. I'm going to let this cook for about a day, and then I'll get back to you. But that is the basic setup. Let's just throw on the top, and we're done. And there we go. see you in a day.